So he says this, and what a beautiful little moment this is in verse 15. The saying is trustworthy and deserving of full acceptance. So Timothy, you can actually put your life on this, and you can believe it wholeheartedly, that Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am the foremost. Paul's primary identity is as a saved sinner. My primary identity is as a saved sinner. It's where it begins. That's where the bedrock is. That's where we find life with Jesus Christ. A human being created in the image of God, saved from the sin that will entangle me and destroy me, saved by the grace that God has extended to me. And now, my identity becomes Christ's. My story can now be told in terms of Christ's story. Listen to what Paul tells the Galatians in Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Paul recognizes, I've been crucified with Christ. All that is gone. All that sin is gone. That former life is gone. And now when I live, it's Christ. And now when I do what God's called me to do, it's Christ. Our lives can now be told in terms of the story of Jesus Christ. Friends, the arrogance of our world right now is that I can tell my story without God. That I can tell my own story without any other sense of outside authority or received wisdom. I can tell my own story. Thank you very much. The arrogance of false religion is that I can tell God's story in my own terms. That's the arrogance of false religion. And any version of Christianity or spirituality that tries to conform truth to our lived experience is false, and it is destructive. I've been crucified with Christ. Now it's not me who lives, it's Christ who lives in me.